Hey guys, welcome to my channel. This is Brittany, and today I'm coming to you with the pros and cons of living in Houston. I've been here for about 4 years and I love it. I'm originally from Florida and took a leap of faith and came out here a couple years back. So I just wanted to create a video to give you some insight to the good and the bad, my opinion of moving to Houston and why you should consider actually coming this way. So I'll be looking down at my little iPad to kind of go over what I've already written down that are the pros and cons to me. So starting with the pros, the number one reason why I came out here is because of opportunity. Houston, Texas in general is booming with opportunity, and I am in the healthcare field, and that was what drew me to this area. Houston has an entire medical center filled with several hospitals, so the opportunities, especially if you're in the healthcare industry, is endless. Also, if you're an engineer, you're in IT, no matter what you do, you can find a job and opportunity here, and I promise you most likely it will pay you more than what you're making back home, depending on where you live. So don't take that take it lightly. It depends on where you're from. Now for me personally, being from Florida, it was going to be a come up, I should say, for me to come out here to transition my nursing career from Florida to Texas. So that was the reason why I came out here, for the opportunities. Another reason why I absolutely love Houston is because of the food. Yes, food. The food out here is so good. Okay, yes, I love to eat. I'm a big foodie, so maybe it's just me, but when you come out here, there are so many different restaurants, food trucks, there's festivals. There's a whole entire week called the Houston Food Week. I think that's what it's called, but regardless, it's, I think, a entire month where there are different restaurants where you can get a discount. You can go in there, try the food from that restaurant, and it gives you the opportunity to just try different things out there. So food is a big thing out here. Sunday Fun Day is a big thing. Brunch is a big thing. So Phil and Derek's, Taste Bar and Kitchen, Moxie's, just to kind of throw a couple names out there, are some of the really good restaurants that we have out here. So if you're into that soul food, Creole, Cajun type food, you're gonna love it out here because it's everywhere. It's literally everywhere. But mind you, Houston is a melting pot. There are a variety of different people, different cultures and backgrounds that are in this area. So if that's not your thing, I promise you, whatever you like, you can find it here. So that's one reason why I tell people that moving here is just a good move. So another pro is Houston is filled with just educated professionals. I mean, it seems like it attracts a lot of graduates. So people who have just graduated from college, they're looking to move to a city where you can kind of start your career off. It attracts those type of people to this area, and specifically educated Black professionals. Houston is booming and filled with so many educated Black professionals, and that was something that I really wanted. I wanted to live in a city where it wasn't odd to see a Black nurse, a Black doctor, a Black dentist, a Black engineer. We're everywhere. We are literally everywhere, and I love that. And not only that, we own so many of the businesses that are out here. It's very inspiring to see minorities in general. They're everywhere. So if you want to be in an area where you see it all the time, Houston has it for you, okay? And the nightlife, yes. So as you have probably heard in the songs and seen on TV and even in social media, the nightlife out here is booming. So you can always find something to do, whether it's a happy hour, going to the club, going to a restaurant, even low-key stuff. Anything that you want as far as entertainment, whether it's going out on the town or even spending time with your family, you can find it here. And that's what I love about this city. It's so diverse. You can, as you progress through life, the city changes with you. You can always find an area that can adapt to where you are in life at that time. So housing it can be low. So this can be a pro and a con. So focusing on the pro, there is very low cost housing out here, especially if you live in the suburbs. So depending on where you decide where you want to live and your standards of living, you can always find something that's very affordable in the Houston area. So get into some of those cons, because there are definitely some cons that you have to deal with if you move this way, honey. So the first con, the traffic, okay? So that's one reason why I live close to work, because I don't want to deal with the traffic every day. I have some coworkers that literally drive 30, 45 minutes, an hour to work and back home, honey. Yes. And I can't deal with that. I have a lot of things I'm involved in, and I like to have a balance in life. So for me, it makes sense to live close to my work. The next con is the weather. Yes, the weather here is so unpredictable, and a lot of the weather storms that we've had, I didn't expect it. My first year I experienced Hurricane Harvey, then we had a little break, then recently we had a little snowstorm, and that was my first time experiencing snow, actually. So you want to make sure when you come out here that you're prepared for any situation. If something is coming our way, just prepare, because you just never know out here. So if you can kind of adjust to basically knowing that you're going to have to be responsible and prepare yourself for anything, then you'll be totally fine. So it just kind of depends on you whether you see that as a con or not. Then property taxes. So depending on where you buy your house, if you buy a house in the city, you better believe the property taxes are going to be high, honey. Yes, you are paying to be in the city, and that's just how it is. And that makes sense, right? Usually based on locations, you're going to pay more for the property. So yes, we don't have any state taxes, but they kind of make that up with property taxes here in Houston. So a lot of times people they'll choose a home based on what the property taxes will be. And then this last con is kind of based on just my opinion. So, this might not be a con for you. Houston is big. It can be big sometimes and very cliquey, and people who are watching this video, really take that with a grain of salt, because it really depends on you and your experience. But what I've experienced out here is that sometimes it is a little hard to break into that circle with people. A lot of people tend to stay friends and only hang out with the people that they know from elementary, middle, high school, which makes sense. A lot of people do that. You stay with people that you're comfortable and familiar with. And I've realized that it's easier for me to make friends with people who are out of state. So a lot of times the people who are out of state, we come here with not really knowing too many people. So we're a little bit more open to forming those connections with people that we don't know. So a lot of times it can be a little bit harder to find your place here. People tend to care about who you know. That can get you really far here, who you know. And also, if you're big on social media, believe it or not. So if you're well connected with social media, you'll have no problems meeting people. So it just kind of depends. In my experience, I've met people through work, and I've also met people through Meetup. So there's an app called Meetup. There's different groups that are formed on there, and basically have events that you can go to basically network with other people that are open to meeting people in the city. So that's where I typically find people that I can kind of connect with. And most of the time in these network groups is filled with people from out of state. So that's basically my experience. So if you guys have any questions about Houston in general, things that you're thinking about, pondering, wondering, just go ahead and let me know in the comments. Just put it in the comments and I'll get back to you. And also, if you're thinking about visiting the Houston area, I actually have an Airbnb. I'll put the link in the bottom in the description. So if you're thinking to book an area or book a place so you can kind of try out the city, which I definitely recommend for you to do, come out here and see how it is before you make that move, okay? Make sure this is a place that you want to be. So I'll put my link for my Airbnb in the bottom. And if you want to book a reservation, then it will be provided in the bottom description. And thank you guys for watching. Please like and subscribe, and I'll see you in the next video. Bye.